From Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope this video message finds you well and in good spirits wherever you are in the world. And I would like to say that on Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 at 11 p.m. Tokyo time, which is in fact a few hours from the time I am actually filming this video, I will be having a live stream, a film club live stream, and the topic of discussion for this upcoming film club live stream will be the 1995 film directed by Michael Mann, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and others. This is the film called Heat, and it's a pretty long film, and it's a heist crime saga set in Los Angeles. And it is an electrifying, epic film in many respects. And it will be my pleasure to share with you some thoughts that I have with regard to this particular film. And so it'll be a live stream, so there will be a live chat. And so if you want to join us, please feel free to do so. I'd be very happy to see you there, and we can discuss this film together. And it'll be my pleasure, as always, my friends, as always, to hear what you have to say about this film. And it doesn't always have to be positive, you know. It can also be criticisms of the film too. I understand that. And indeed, I will also mention a few criticisms that I have as well about this film, if I have the chance during the live stream. And so I welcome anyone who has any thoughts about this film, and we will listen to you and what it is you have to say. As always, I learned so much from you, and so hopefully I can see you at Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 at 11 p.m. Tokyo time. So once again, Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 at 11 p.m. Tokyo time. Now, I say that I will have some criticisms about this film, and I do have some criticisms, but I will hopefully try to mention them in the context of the overall theme of the film, which I think is also very significant. And there are also some interesting subtleties that I think are going on in the film, which hopefully I will try to get into as well. Things about mirror images, imaging, this idea of positive and negative existences, and the idea of seeing and sight and the gaze and the power of the gaze, and of course the depiction of relationships, how relationships are built, how they are broken, what is the effect on relationships with respect to this notion of the cop and the robber, which is, I think, a very fundamentally it's a fundamental storyline in terms of this kind of genre, and it's a very, I think, understandable and very easy to access type of genre. But it's also about, as I say, relationships, and various kinds of relationships, relationships between husband and wife, relationships between romantic lovers, relationships between friends, relationships that are professional, relationships between parents and children, and so on and so forth. And so and we see how these particular circumstances in the film, the plot of the film, affect these relationships in one way or another. And they can be positive effects, they can be negative effects, or they can be quite nuanced, neutral, or even ambivalent or ambiguous effects. And so it'll be interesting to see how these play out, and I'll try to discuss my thoughts about those, as well as other things about this film. Now, I'm going to rely on this particular Blu-ray, which is known as the Director's Definitive Edition. And there are some also some issues with respect to the release history of this film, and I won't go into too much detail, but I will point out a few points with respect to how the releases have changed very subtly over time. I actually saw this film in the theater back in 1995 when it was first released, and then subsequently I had the 2-tape VHS set. It was 2 tapes, and because it was so long it had to be on 2 tapes, and I watched the film over and over again on that VHS set, and then I got it on DVD, and then eventually I got it on Blu-ray. And so I've had I think this film experienced through at least 4 formats, and there have been many others, of course, but there are some differences that have emerged, especially now with this new definitive edition, however it's marketed, of course. And so I'll try to bring up some of those issues to the extent I'm able. But for the most part, my discussion won't necessarily be tied to any particular release version of the film. In other words, my overall comments will be more or less in keeping with the film itself, and so you don't necessarily have to worry about which version you will be watching for the sake of this particular live stream. So no need to worry about that. Again, I'll just go into a little bit of comments about that where I am able to. And we will go for it. There are some differences actually that I think are pretty interesting, and they do affect the overall mood. I'll mention some scenes. Again, I don't want to mention them now because they go into spoilers, but I will mention them during the live stream where I'm able to, and then as well as others. But I think for me also my focus will be on, as I say, the film itself and the characters and the relationships, and also certain stylistic devices, certain thematic devices, certain ways that the film is almost dealing in a meta sort of way with respect to the eyesight and seeing and the gaze and the power of the gaze and the danger of the gaze, as well as positive existences, negative existences, and how that figures into sort of mirror imaging that exists all throughout this film, and patterns that are repeated and repeated and repeated, but they lead to different configurations or different results depending on certain variables that are changed. So in fact there is a very rigid structure that is in place here that I'll try to just make a couple comments on. But for me, more importantly, it'll be listening to what it is you have to say and listening to your viewpoints and opinions about this quite amazing work, which is Michael Mann's film called Heat. So once again, the live stream will be taking place Saturday, May 2nd, 2020 at 11 p.m. Tokyo time. So by my clock, that is about a few hours from now. So I look forward to seeing you at the live stream, I hope. And even if you can't make it, this will be uploaded as a video after the fact, and so you can always watch it later. But be sure to watch the film. Be sure to watch the film before joining the live stream, because I will be talking about spoilers at that particular live stream. I have to, because what I have to say really depends on specific plot points, and so I will be talking about spoilers. So please, if you want to join, please be sure to watch the film, and we will go from there. Of course, and as I say, if you don't have time, you can always watch the live stream after the fact, because it will hopefully be uploaded without any issue on the YouTube channel. So there's that. So, and then there are so many other live stream events that will be happening, film club live stream events that will be happening all throughout May 2020. So every Saturday in May there will be a live stream, and so we will be talking about a separate film on each Saturday. So hopefully, if you are not necessarily interested in this film this time around, maybe you might find, hopefully, another film sometime later in the month that is more to your tastes. And so I will try to do my best to be as varied as possible. But hopefully, the films will be interesting, including the one that is scheduled for a few hours from now, which is this film, Heat. Okay, my friends, so that's it, and hopefully I will see you, some of you or many of you, later on in the day. And in any case, my friends, please continue to take very good care of yourselves. Please be happy and healthy and well, And please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Thank you as always, my friends, and cheers.